It is Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, at 5:30 p.m. And I call to order the meeting of the Library Board of Trustees. Okay, do we have acceptance of the agenda?
We need a roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry, we need to do roll call. Roll call.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, you can't just leave your microphones on. There's not a lot of props banter, so I just leave it on.
Yeah.
That would probably work for you. Juanita Garner
Here.
David Norgard,
Here.
Al Jones
Here.
and Deborah Schwartz is fake it. She's absent.
I don't think I will ever be out of it.
She notified me that she would be absent. And then we have one three here.
Okay, so we will move on to the acceptance of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Great. Public comment, this time has been set aside for members of the. Sorry.
We need to vote.
Oh. Yes, we do.
And you could just say aye
Okay.
on that one.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, David.
Sure.
Okay, public comment. This time has been set aside for members of the public to address the Library Board of Trustees and agenda items and items of general interest within the subject matter within jurisdiction of the city. Although the Library Board of Trustees values your comments pursuant to the Brown Act, it generally cannot take action on items not listed on the posted agenda. 3 minutes are assigned to each speaker. Do we have any public comment?
If you would like to give public comment online, raise your hand. Otherwise, no public comment.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, thank you. We're gonna move on to administrative reports. Friends of the Palm Springs Library.
Yes, Nancy Morrison is not able to be here today, so she asked me to give you the report for them. The Friends have secured a temporary space and will be moving this Wednesday, or next Wednesday, excuse me. Today is Wednesday, so next Wednesday, 6/11. They have volunteers from US Bank helping them move. They will continue the sale that they are doing on the shelves in the library through summer reading. So everything on the shelves in the library is currently 50% off. The Friends will be having an architecture design book sale in the fall for October Modernism Weekend. And that would be Saturday, October 18th. And they're going to do that at the Wellwood Library. So that has been scheduled as all modernism fall events were due June 1st. And the Friends will continue to take donations during this time, but for larger donations, they do ask that you reach out by phone or email on their contact us on their website in order to schedule those larger donations. Their website is still currently in the process of being updated. There's just a few other small things that they are doing, but the new website should be up and running very soon. And I believe that is everything I have to report for the Friends. Any questions?
Yes. Thanks, first of all, for that report from the board meeting. So I'm a little, I need a little bit of clarification on donations being accepted. So right now, are they going to be accepted at the library?
Yes.
Until when?
At least do summer reading right now until the library closes. Our tentative closing date as listed on Engage Palm Springs is July 19th is our last day.
Okay.
Of course, we know that's all in pencil until we know for sure.
Right.
So, but while the library is open, we'll continue to take donations at the library for the Friends.
Okay.
And then when we move to the temporary location, we will also accept donations at the temporary location for the Friends.
Oh,
if they're small, but
Yeah.
for anything larger than a bag or, a few items, then yeah, exactly. Then they want to have people reach out to them by phone or email to schedule a time where they can drop them off at the Friends temporary location that they've secured. And that's at the church on the corner of Ramon and Caballeros.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for that, Jill. Appreciate
Sure.
it.
Sorry that wasn't clear.
No,
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to 5B, Palm Springs Public Library Foundation.
Hello, Peter Pearson here. Bill Wiley will not be with us this evening, so you'll just be hearing from me and have a few things to report from the foundation. First is that the foundation felt that it was important recently that we get more involved in advocacy with the city council. And what we wanted to have the message to the city council was whatever these bids come in, we want to see the entire project funded. We don't want to have to see that the library has to cut anything from what the architects have put forward. So we asked our board members to send letters, email messages to their city council members. We had lots of board members that did that. It was so wonderful. We had some incredibly moving messages that were sent, and none of them were cookie cutter messages. People were very good about sending very individualized messages to the council, and they received responses, very positive responses, saying that the council was very much behind the library project. The last thing that we did advocacy-wise was at last week's city council meeting, we organized to have Juanita and Nancy Morrison and Bill Wiley representing all three of the boards to do public testimony at that council meeting. And from everything I've heard, the three of you were just phenomenal. So all of that really has a wonderful impact on the council hearing how important this project is to people in Palm Springs. So we're all hopeful when those bids come in this week that the city council, whatever they may look like, will be very supportive. Wanted to also let you know that we continue to recruit new board members. We have just added a new board member who starts July 1, which is the beginning of our fiscal year. Her name is Wendy Rubin. We recruited Wendy specifically. Wendy lives in Rancho Mirage in the wintertime. In the summertime, she lives in a place very close to my heart, Minneapolis, Minnesota. And Wendy's background is very much in event planning. Her strong reason for wanting to be a part of the foundation board was in hopes that she could be influential in helping us to create some great event. And I need you to know that the foundation is very much focused on figuring out what's going to happen with our operational budget once the trustees' funds are completely used. And we're not forgetting that. We're not taking our eyes off that. And I would tell you that almost every library foundation in the country uses a major event to provide the basis of their operational funding. And so that's something that the foundation will be looking toward in the next couple of years. We are in the process of developing our budget for the 25-26 fiscal year, and the budget will be presented at the foundation's July 10th board meeting. And we're taking a lot of care to make sure that that budget is reflective of the things that we want to accomplish for the library in the next year. We've also, in the last few months, really done a lot of reorganizing of our communications committee. We're very aware of the fact that communications are going to be a critical part of our success in this capital campaign. And of course, the trustees have been so supportive of that. At the last meeting of the trustees, you approved a grant that was going to help us in the capital campaign in our public phase to do a great deal of public awareness. But we need to have a committee that oversees all of those activities. And so Bill Wiley and I have been very active in trying to reorganize and re-energize the communications committee. And then lastly, one of the things that we're doing to try to raise awareness for our capital campaign is we are conducting tours of the library. And we've trained 4 of the foundation board members to be docents who can carry on those tours. Both Jeannie and Julie have done a great job of training our board members how they can do these tours and talk about what those spaces are going to look like after the renovation. So we've had about 3 tours so far. We've gotten great results. What we've done is we've invited representatives of the various neighborhood associations. And we got most of those lists from One PS Picnic and had a great response. People are extremely interested, we're finding, which is wonderful. So we're hoping to build excitement and enthusiasm among the various neighborhood associations in preparation for launching what will ultimately be a public phase of the campaign next fall or early winter. So that's my update for now, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Does anyone have any questions? I just want to tell you how impressed I am with everything you're doing, everyone else is doing. But particularly with people writing letters and letting the council know how important the library is to them. I think that's, that is the way to get what we need. We need to really push that and let them know just how much it really means to us. But the whole neighborhoods, getting the neighborhoods involved in this and bringing awareness to them about our library, and then in turn they're going to talk to their the people in their groups. I think that's fantastic. Whoever had that idea is wonderful. Go
And
ahead.
I would have to credit that idea to our capital campaign consultant, Daryl Tucci.
Great.
I think that's a strategy that he stole from the Plaza Theater.
Great. David?
Thanks. Peter, concerning the tours specifically, do you have any highlights you might be able to offer us of how people communicated their questions, or what questions they communicated to the docent? What signs of enthusiasm may have been? Could you give us just a little, perhaps a little vignette about that?
Sure. And I'm going to ask Jeannie to chime in here too, because I would say 99% or 99.5% of those participating were incredibly excited and enthusiastic about this renovation. We had a tour yesterday that had the exception. We always have to know there's going to be one exception to the rule. And we had an individual on that tour who was not happy with a variety of the parts of the renovation. And he chose to really express himself in very negative ways, which was unfortunate because the rest of the people on the tour were extremely supportive and enthusiastic. But he just kind of insisted on putting forth negativity. And I think our tour guide, Jeffrey Norman from the Foundation Board, I think he did a great job of, defusing that. Jeannie did, thanked him for his input without getting defensive. So yeah, most of the people though are just so excited to be on those tours and just really enthusiastic. Jeannie, do you want to comment on the one exception we had to the rule?
Oh, no, I want to comment on the positive experiences that everyone is having when they're taking these tours, because they're learning a lot of the tidbits of history that we're sharing about the library itself as part of the fabric of our city. The city had to incorporate in 1938 in order to receive a gift of land to start the public library. Our public library building downtown, the Wellwood Murray Memorial Library, was the first municipal building in the city before a city hall, before a fire station or anything. So we share those little tidbits of trivia throughout the tour, and I'd say that they're extremely educational, obviously, but I think it's a fun way to learn about your community and learn about what the library has been over generations, and so we are super excited to share all the fun facts about the building. There's a time capsule that people might not know about. We're hoping to not have a Geraldo Rivera moment and when we crack that open, but and someone said, it's a funny question. Someone said, well, you obviously don't even might not know what's in the time capsule. I said, we're librarians. Of course we know what's in the time capsule. It was cataloged. There's a list. There's a full inventory of what was put in the time capsule. So that's some of the fun things that you learn about when you come on this tour. So it's not about not getting exactly all that we desire and wish. I mean, of course we wish we had an event center, so we municipal projects like this are a little give and take along the way, but we talk about that history too, and how the budget was cut in the 1975 project, and we didn't get the north patio that was drawn out. We didn't get the lighting that we needed, which is hilarious looking back. So, the landscaping, there was no landscaping design at all because there was no money, and so they just planets and grass, and there you are. So there's just all these little factoids. We developed a map and stopping points along the tour that we can share information and then show the renderings of what that space is going to look like. So for me, it's a lot of fun. I love to talk about the library, of course, so I love to do this, and I love to be a part of these tours and share all the fun things that we have to offer that people might not know about. So probably just right now, you all might have learned something about the library. So just imagine spending an hour with us telling you all about these fun things that we do and the services we have to offer. So, and why it's important that we're doing what we do. So why we're putting in study rooms, why we think the archive is important to have its own space, because it's going to make room in the main room to double the size of our community room and create these small study spaces. So I guess I could go on, but yeah, we love to share the tours. So if you're interested in the tours, you should reach out to your neighborhood, like through 1PS. You can reach out to them. You can reach out to Peter at the foundation. You can reach out to me at the library. We could connect you with one of the upcoming tours. We're doing now through July 19th. Yeah.
What time of day? I'm sorry.
There are all types of times of day, actually. We've had
Some at noon. some at
morning, noon,
evening.
night.
Yeah.
There's a variety of times.
I just want to thank you for your comments, both Peter and Eugenie. It sounds wonderful. And I'll just say, in my own development experience over the years, nothing is more effective than personal small group tours of a facility. So I still think about one guy who was giving $100 and moved up to 100,000 after a site tour. So this is a very tried and true development method that I'm glad we're employing through the foundation. Thank you for that, Peter.
Absolutely. But thanks so much to Julie and Jeannie for training our board members and how to do the tours, and then being present and helping to kind of shepherd people through the library when there's a larger group. And then, like last night, being able to field some of those difficult questions that are going to happen occasionally. So it's been a great joint effort between library staff, administration, and the foundation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to item C, library staff.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't get a drink. I've been talking too much. There are I have a few things, and then I'll give it to Julie to talk about the funnest thing of all. So we are still working on our library renovation, as you know. May not, and you probably do know. Last week, the city council authorized the general obligation bond for up to $40 million, which includes about $30 million for the library and the remainder for the swim center. We're very grateful to the council. We're grateful to Juanita Garner for getting up to speak and making everyone in the room cry, because we all love the library in the same way. So that was wonderful. It's just so moving. Everybody, the public speaking, the public comments were great and very supportive, and it does show how much our community really values library services. The project is out to bid. There were some, you might have thought the bids were closing last week. They were going to close last week, but then we had to do a modification to the air conditioner unit on top of the J.C. Fry building. So they've delayed the bid deadlines for a week. So we have two bids. One closes Thursday at noon and one closes Friday at noon also. So we'll know more next week if we're on target for financial support. I don't know what word to pick, but we'll know more next week. We are currently still in negotiations on a lease agreement, but I think we're going to make it work so that the lease agreement goes to city council on June 11th for a temporary library location.
Nice.
So watch for the public posting of the agenda to find out where. So we're getting approval for the city manager to finish the documents on that lease agreement. We have also assigned an agreement, an intra-agency agreement with the airport to have storage at one of their warehouses. So that's a wonderful thing. We've got that done. We've got office space for administration in a city building. So things are coming along. Finally, it wasn't like we were sitting on our laurels. We were working, but just everything is falling into place. So that is great news. And we also just wanted to talk to you. Trustee Norgard asked about the Wellwood operations, and at the last city council, they are reported that they are going into negotiations with Oakview Group to operate the Palm Springs Convention Center, the Visitors Center, the Bureau of Tourism, and the Wellwood Murray Memorial Library. So the Wellwood Murray Memorial Library is currently operated by the ASM Global, who runs all of those facilities now. So this won't be anything really new for us. It'll just be a different company. And we hope that they will retain the staff that are there, the staff that work there and supervise those staff. We have a wonderful relationship with the staff there, do a really great job. Julie is the supervisor of the Wellwood Murray Memorial Library, and then I oversee all of that. But Julie runs, you as library board of trustees, you set the library policies, we set the library hours, we set the programming, handle the programming, run a book club there. We coordinate all of the exhibits. So as far as we're concerned, nothing will change. So it's still going to be operated the same way that it's been operated for the past 10 years. And we're just expecting a seamless transition to the new management company. But I'm happy to answer any questions about that. It won't, we don't expect this to change the relationship that we just agreed to with Oakview Group, who also happens to oversee the operations of the Plaza Theater. So we just signed an agreement with them to do after hours events, to use our space for that. So we're not expecting this to change that relationship in any way, because we have an agreement that's how that one was already set. So it's separate. I'm happy to answer any questions on that. And then just a reminder for you, trustees, that if you are planning to attend the joint boards and commissions city council meeting, that you need to RSVP by June 8th for the dinner.
When is that again?
The event itself is on June 17th. It's a Tuesday night, and dinner for the commissioners will be at 5:00, and then the public meeting will begin at 6 in the next room. We usually do the dinner and then go into the next room. We did this last year.
Yeah.
At the convention center.
I'll be out of town.
We're going to RSVP, I don't remember, is it through an email?
Yeah, I'll look and see. I'm pretty sure you just send an email. I feel like there's a little form that you click through on to fill in.
Great.
Question?
No, I remembered I had to look at my city email in order to
Oh, yeah.
And it was there. Okay.
RSVP.
All right,
Yes.
great, I'll check.
But I can make a note to check on that and see if you need if I have the link.
All right.
And I will not be able to attend.
That's
I'll
fine.
be in Puerto Vallarta. From
And
Friday till
then
the 23rd.
I want to pass it over to Julie to talk about summer reading and our other programs. Or all the programs.
Excellent, thank you. So before I get into summer reading, because there's so many things, I'm just gonna give you the highlights of things coming up that's not summer reading. I just want to remind everyone that we do have a poetry club that meets once a month, and they are going to continue through the summer. And so they meet at the Wellwood Library the last Wednesday of the month from 4 to 5, and this month's theme is going to be good versus evil. So that should be fun. They're really having a fun time, and so they were excited to extend it through the summer. Also, we are participating in the First Partners Book Club, which is a book club by Governor Newsom's partner, wife. So we received a copy of books, and then we created bookmarks. And those books are now on the shelf and in our catalog and can be checked out as part of that book club. And the bookmarks will be out tomorrow and also are included in all the summer reading. And then I wanted to let you know that our virtual author program that we do, we offer monthly several different authors that people can then participate virtually at that time. And if they participate at that time, they can interact with the author and submit questions and ask things. But they can also go back and watch the recordings, which is great. But over the summer, they're going to switch to children's and YA authors. And so beginning June 24th, that switch will happen. And they will feature, the first one will be Newbery medalist and New York Times bestselling author Catherine Applegate. And that's from grades 3 through 5. But they have different different authors, excuse me, for different age groups. And so that's going to be all throughout the summer. And so parents and kids can sign up together, or teens can sign up by themselves to attend if they're interested in that. So that's kind of fun. And then, so summer reading starts Monday. So it's really fun. We are going to have registrations in person at the library. When you register, you get a bag full of stuff as well as a free book. Kids and teens get an age appropriate, grade appropriate book, brand new to add to their own collection, their own libraries. And then adults get book bucks to redeem in the Friends book sale area. So that's really fun. And they can attend programs. We have programs every week. We have lots of things going on. The theme this year is level up at your library. So it's gaming and all things just, kind of advancing yourself. And so it's really fun. We have great activities and flyers for every age group. I'll do a little show and tell that tells you about everything that's going on. There's also bonus events. And then this year we introduced a bingo challenge for each age group. It's different. And they do different activities and can earn prizes. And then the grand prizes, which have been so generously given to us by the Friends, there's 10 great prizes. Some of them are bundles and some are standalone. So we have things like a 4-in-1 gaming table, a PlayStation 5, a Nintendo Switch, and a Amazon gift card. But then we also have fun bundles. One of my favorites is the pickleball bundle. So you get a set of 4 pickleball paddles and balls, but then you either get a lesson or a match with our very own police chief, Andy Mills. So that's gonna be super fun. And then there's lots of other things. There's water fun bundle and an outdoor game bundle and all sorts of classic game bundle and stuff like that. So lots of opportunities for you to try to win the prize that you want. And so we have lots of things going on. So I encourage everyone to come to the library, sign up for summer reading. It starts Monday, June 9th, and it continues through Friday, July 18th. And we're going to have a big finale celebration this year on a Saturday, so more families can come. And that'll be that next Saturday, the July 19th. So lots of things going on at the library. That's it. Oh, any questions?
Yeah, any questions for Julie?
That's it.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. That's everybody. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to item 6, treasurer's reports.
Yes, it's on page 9 of your agenda. And there's very little change from the last report. A total, it went down by 13,000 is the change, or it went up, I should say, from last time. We're now at 1.628. Last month we were at 1.615. So a change of 13,000. Nothing remarkable about our budget, which is a good thing. That seems my report.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, very good. Okay, do I have a motion?
I just wanted to say that I just realized what that is. That 13,000 is Q3 interest.
Oh,
You earned interest.
very good.
Move to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Second,
All in favor? Aye. Yes.
Aye.
Thank you. Oops. Oops. Very good. Okay, moving on to item 7, library policy review and acceptance, including collection development policy.
Okay, this is why your packet is 90 pages long. We have the before and the after. That's we typically, when we go through policies, we try not to bring them to you very often. We try to just do it all at once. We usually do a red line copy where you can see the changes, but we really revised this policy manual. So we are I'm happy to answer any questions, but what I will say to you is that, oh, we're highlighting the collection development policy because the California State Legislature has, I believe, I put a stack of them in here. It's last week. The California Assembly Bill number 1825 requests that every municipal library in California ensure that their collection development policy has certain language. So we have put that language in our collection development policy. Our policy was actually pretty good. So we just added a few little features to comply with the language. And it is in your packet, but I'm happy to answer any questions. You are the authority over the library policies.
David?
So
Yes.
I'm would like to know if it's really somehow critical that we pass on this tonight. This is significant. It's very important. This whole set of operating policies, and I'd like to have enough time for review and discussion. I did read both the old and the new as you provided. I have 16 different questions, comments, suggestions, and I don't really anticipate that we wanted to go into that fine detail tonight. But nonetheless, I think it's important. So I would like to know if we could table final consideration on acceptance until next month.
I don't have a problem with that. I will say, Julie reminded me, just to explain more about the policies too, is that we tried to simplify the language because it was very legalese, a lot of we just felt like it was time to simplify the words and just make it very clear to patrons what's expected.
Sure.
For the policy. So I mean, that's up to you all if you want to talk about that. Or
administrative.
oh yes, and we had administrative things that weren't really policies. They were just
Yeah, I did notice a few things that I had questions about, nothing, earth shattering, but just differences that I noticed.
so I'm trying to wait, let me figure out which one's which. So the first section is the draft. The new.
But this doesn't have to be done in this fiscal year then.
No, not this fiscal year. The collection development policy has to be submitted to the state by January. We're trying to just take care of business.
Yeah,
good.
Be done with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you happy to discuss. The old policies start on page 48. And that draft is on page 19. So we shortened it out quite a bit.
Yeah,
Still on, but
overall, I think that the editing and revisions that have taken place are good, very good, in fact. Nevertheless, I do have questions about various pieces and a couple of suggestions thrown in here also. So I guess I would ask my colleagues in the chair, how would you want to proceed?
I'm very interested in hearing, what you have to say and the questions that you have. Would it be possible for you to like write those out?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
that maybe Al and I, once we have your questions or concerns, we can look through,
Right.
Yeah.
in order to make a more informed decision on this, or just have input that's more informed.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I would send it to Jeannie so that we can be right by the Brown Act.
yes, because I was like, yeah, that's a quorum
Right.
right there.
Yeah,
But
so
please send it to both emails.
Yeah.
so I
Would you be willing to put that together?
yeah,
Would
be
that be
very
okay?
glad to.
Okay.
I this is important. I want to take our role seriously, and so I offer these partly for my own knowledge, but beyond that, for the benefit of the group and for the benefit of the library.
And I'm happy to talk to you too if you have any questions. Call me or email, but yeah, we can do that if you want to.
And just a few questions too I have, but
Well, and maybe, I mean, if you put this together, perhaps some of our questions or concerns overlap, and then
Oh,
we could
yes.
just, we can,
Very possible.
have a discussion that's a little more streamlined rather than everybody,
Right,
right?
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll be happy to do that, and I can send that to Jeannie within a few days, let's say Wednesday, by the end of the week.
Okay, we don't need to rush.
That would be helpful.
Yes.
I'd like to ask Jeannie though, a question. For instance, just really quickly, one thing was perplexing to me a little bit was the clothing. You have to have clothing for the upper and lower body. But I didn't know, does that mean a t-shirt is acceptable or, I mean, there was no kind
A
of
specific
clear.
example was yesterday, someone came in without a shirt.
Okay, well, that would be clear,
Yeah,
but
and
a
so,
t-shirt's fine, so long
yeah,
as
we
there's no.
we don't want to dictate what people wear, we just want to make sure that they're covered, and we thought that that was a simple, an easier way to say.
Okay.
That just cover yourself and some other libraries, we looked at so many library policies
Yeah.
and we thought, well, some libraries just say cover your top and cover your bottom, and I think our old policy was like, make sure that you're not wearing, lewd,
Which is up for interpretation.
there was a lot, yes, and there was some interpretation there over, well, what do you consider lewd clothing or whatever the words were in the language. So
Okay,
we tried to just simplify it to say, no, we're not dictating a dress code. We're just saying,
I just
wear
didn't get a
something.
sense of,
It's probably the biggest thing.
yes.
Yeah.
And Julie,
I was just gonna say, that's probably the biggest thing, is that we wanted to try to take individual judgments out of things, especially the policies, because what I might interpret may be different than what Lisa interprets, or so on and so forth. And we wanted to get away from that type of language. So and we felt like that was kind of throughout. And so we, in that simplification, it was also very much to take a judgment out.
right.
So that's super important.
yes, in fact, that specific item in the past, our current policy says wear shoes and shirts. Wearing clothing that willfully or lewdly exposes private body parts is prohibited. And so we just took all that out and said, just cover yourself.
No, that's good. I think David's questions
Talking about
that he's gonna share with us, as you suggest to Juanita, give us some sense and direction and clarification.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that.
Mhm.
So
So
we
then,
need to have a motion to table this item, or?
yeah, and Julie asked, I think what we could just do is that it's just tabled. There's no motion, no second, or maybe there's a, I don't know. maybe
Actually, it should be a move to
Motion.
table.
Motion to table. And but then Julie asked a question, maybe if there are any simple questions that we might want to discuss now that are that we could address in the meantime.
I think I'd rather wait to see the full compilation of questions.
Just a question, so this, where does this, did you create this, I mean, did the library create this document, or is this something that all libraries have and you are tweaking something that most libraries do?
Excellent question.
Okay.
All libraries have their own
Okay.
policies, and this one, the original policy was done in 2001. And so this document was done by library staff at Palm Springs and has been revised and adapted over the years to adapt to library users and library needs and different policies. So you could see the history of the policy in the corner. It will tell you the original policy was 2001. It was revised, and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, we took a big chunk. The last time it was approved was 2018. So our current policies as they stand are from 2018, and we've had a lot of time since then.
Yeah, definitely. So,
But yeah, that's an excellent question, and each library does their own. I mean, that we are governed by the California Education Code, and the California, just some history on that. The California Education Code requires that each municipal library each municipality in California have library services. whether they have their own library or they contract out, like Indian Wells doesn't have their own library building, but they contract out with Riverside County to offer their residents library services. So, and the California Education Code says that each library must be overseen by a 5-member library board. Here you are. And, I don't know what else to say except that, Julie might have said.
Yeah, I was just gonna say also, when this was done in 2001 and many years, and it was an administrative manual and policies, and so in the years subsequent, we've been moving away from that. And this is probably the biggest move we've made because it just didn't make sense anymore. We really needed to concentrate on the policies. And so, that's a lot of the changes that you will have seen is because we've taken some of that stuff out of there that just wasn't relevant anymore.
And it used to be a manual, like a
Yeah,
binder.
It was a bind and it was written that way too. So that changed too.
And now it's available on our website, and yeah, it addresses a lot of different topics, and we've added language about bullying that wasn't there before, and we added that in 2018, but
And so the language from the state of California that you've incorporated or added to that, did I read correctly, it does not have to be included until 2026, or is that?
our deadline is that we have to have our approved policy submitted to them by January 2026. So we do have time. I just wanted to take care of it. But the collection development policy that we're specifically talking about is on page 11 of this internal packet. So the collection development policy, when you look at the old one and the new one, there are just a few, you rip it apart and lay them side by side, but we added a few things about the AB 1825 in accordance with the California Freedom to Read Act. We acknowledge that our collection meets broad and diverse interests, and so on and so forth.
Okay. So, do we have a motion to table this item?
I move to table consideration of the policy statements until our next regular session meeting.
I'll second that.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Okay, so, let's see.
So then if you will email me your comments or questions, I will compile that some way and then send it to you individually so that you won't be able to reply all in your email.
Okay.
Right, thank you. I'll make sure you get it.
Thank you for that.
And then yeah, I think we'll have to include it in the packet next time too.
Oh, we do?
Trees.
I know, trees, this is like really fast.
Or we could just take it out of this packet and bring it with us the next time.
So why don't here's what if it's up to you, but what we can do is you can bring it, we can include it in the digital packet so that it will be part of the public record and be available. But
Would not have to print this all over again?
yeah,
That would be great.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
It's a lot.
I know
Yes,
it's
there you go. That's what I would too.
So
I
then
wrote on this one.
our staple didn't even fit in the packet. Okay.
Okay, so moving on, we're going to discuss the presentation for city council at our special joint meeting of the 17th. So these are the slides on the back of
Yes, so we made some suggestions, but you're welcome to change it. We are given this template, we get 4 slides.
Okay.
And each board and commission of the city gets the same template, the same format. Juanita, you presented last time, right?
Yes, I did.
So it's it should be the same, same style as last time. They'll call us in order. They'll call up the different commissioners to come up and speak. They'll tell the mission, list the members, and then significant achievements, and then our goals for the future. So take it away.
Quick question. Can you participate via Zoom?
I don't. I mean, That's a good question. I don't,
Could you check and see?
I will.
I mean, I'll be out of
I
the
think
country again, so.
I'm assuming they'll be broadcasting, but I don't know that you can actually give comment or anything.
Well,
But you might be
don't
able
even
to
need to do
watch.
that necessarily, if I can just watch and monitor and listen and.
I will ask.
Yeah, if you could check.
Hmm.
And as a board member, you know, if it were open, if I did have questions, I mean, that would be. As opposed to just a regular member of the public.
I will say that it's pretty regimented in the
Right.
presentation, just presentation.
Right.
Just presentation after
Right, I
presentation.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were there. You were
Yeah,
there
I've been
once
there
then. That's right.
for all these years, even when I was on the airport
That's
commission, I think
right.
I've been there 12 times.
Okay.
So, yeah, but if you can see, at least if I can, if it'll be visible via Zoom, that would be great.
So I have a question for you two, as we're looking at this, is there anything that you think is important for relevance to share that is not on there? That you feel we need
I
to,
didn't see, no, because I think it's pretty crafted, and it was a template.
right?
We have to scratch our significant achievement.
What?
Updated library policies.
Oh,
Thanks, David.
Yeah, but
I don't know, I would leave it as it is and just explain orally. I wouldn't make the change. I
We
wouldn't
can
make
move
the
it to
changes.
looking ahead.
Yeah.
We can move it.
Yeah, we just, we're gonna let that go.
We'll move it to
Yeah.
the goal, and then we'll have a significant achievement next.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
But I didn't see anything that you needed to.
Update, not dated.
I don't have a suggestion for improvement, but I do have a question about. Having attended last year's, I noticed that. Some people. Went over their time limit rather significantly in some cases.
Mhm.
And didn't bother with the template, and they provided, you know, these. Other kinds of presentation, I mean, PowerPoint still, but rather elaborate. I'm not suggesting we do that. But I guess what I would suggest. Is that the emphasis be on what we've all been mostly focused on, and that is, of course, the big renovation. That is the story of the library in 2025, it seems to me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we should say for the looking ahead, instead of just talking about the advocacy support, but that is one of your goals, is to provide advocacy support for the upcoming library renovation project. And when you could say it however you want, you could say, we're gonna renovate the library.
Right.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're rule followers, so we try to stick to the template and the time limit.
Which is it 2 minutes?
No,
It was
No.
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
you get a little bit of time.
Yeah, I thought it
Okay.
was.
But
Mm.
I don't remember the exact amount, but I feel like it's probably 5 minutes.
Okay. I was gonna say, okay. Okay, perfect. That's great. Okay.
So on the significant achievements, so are you okay with the funding, noting the funding and then pledging for the renovation?
yeah,
And then is it an achievement or is it a goal? You know, for looking ahead for the renovation? And are you okay? We could just leave it the way it is.
I would leave it the way it is.
Leave the words.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
Just
just-
any questions?
I'll move
for-
the policy.
Do they have any questions?
Yeah, which one? For looking ahead. Do you have any questions about the looking ahead section? You've already approved the 10,000 for nonfiction ebooks. Providing advocacy support, and then we are planning a 100-year anniversary celebration. So that's
when is that going to be?
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a question. It'll be in the fall. I mean, but I don't have an exact date for you yet. We're kind of waiting on
Where are we
we
gonna-
don't want to take away from the focus on the renovations.
So-
So that's why we haven't done anything yet. But as soon as we're moved into the temporary space, we've done our ribbon cutting there, we're sort of settled, then the attention will turn. I'm currently working on and will continue to work on a 100-year logo that we'll adopt to use for the rest of the year, and hope to roll that out at our closing, if we actually close in July.
So
Anyway, so
So
it's
yeah, I
coming.
guess the emphasis is, yeah, we're planning 100-year anniversary celebration. So the first official library board meeting happened in 1925. So and this picture on the slide is an ink sketch of the only rendition of Aileen's library as it was seen in the 1920s. So the library, it does say it was moved by mule team to 2 additional sites later. There were some, it was on somebody's property, and they said, "Oh, why is your building there? We need this property. You need to move it." So they had to drag it down the street.
Mhm.
Did it move to the church at that point?
I think that's when
A
yeah,
church.
that's
said,
when it
you can
went
move
by the
it on our
church.
property.
Yeah.
So they dragged it to the church's property, and the library's just got a long, crazy history in Palm Springs.
Very interesting. So I have a question. I have a neighbor who says his home used to be a branch library
Mhm.
on Morongo, is that correct?
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's the South Melba
South.
Bennett branch.
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, there the North Branch. Actually, the North Branch still has the name on the side of the building. It's owned by actor Udo Kier, and it's by the fire station in Victoria Park. And
Oh.
that's the North Branch Library, and it got sold off, closed and sold off to now it's a private residence. And then the South Branch was the Melba Bennett branch, and yeah, it's a private home.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay,
It's interesting facts.
it is very
Yeah.
interesting.
So, and then we are planning, while we're closed, we're planning to rebrand our entire library logo.
Not closed in a temporary
I mean,
space.
when we're renovating the library, we're gonna renovate our logo too.
Yes. everything will be new when we reopen.
So potentially we will know the location before this slideshow of our temporary facility.
Yes.
Oh,
So then we can.
yes.
We can say that, right? Say where it's at, where the temporary facility is. going to
This
be.
is due tomorrow.
Oh, well, but I mean,
Or she
couldn't
could
I
say
add
it.
it?
Oh, yeah,
I
yes, she can just say it.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
say
we
it.
can
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Put it here, but I could say it.
Yes, you could.
We're
Okay.
delighted to announce that the city
Yeah,
council. has
yes.
voted
Yeah,
aye.
yeah,
Yes.
That's a significant achievement.
Yes. Temporary location.
That's a great.
Okay.
I'm just sad you can't share it with the board of the trustees.
It was about 24 hours, and when the city council agenda posts, it'll be there.
You will know.
If everything gets approved.
I'm just wondering out loud about one other thing. There is mention under significant achievements of the foundation, right? The capital campaign, that's all good. Should there be mention somehow, somewhere of the friends? They are an important part of the overall picture too.
Why not?
To
There's support. I could.
what could we say? We definitely think
You know, I
that
just
there's
think it would
support.
be,
Well, they did make a contribution towards the renovation, not as much as they could have. To some of us. Yeah, that we've been very public about that.
You can, yeah, I think if you wanna, what, do you want us to have a bullet point for them in some way?
It would be nice to have a bullet point. I think it would be nice for it to be in print.
We
What
do have
about
one.
the mission, the
Read it.
mission of the Friends? Is there a written mission? Literally, do you know?
Well, that's,
There is, the Friends do have a mission, but, this is all about you. So this slideshow is talking
I
about
think it would be
you.
nice just to thank them.
yeah, we cooperate with them, and they cooperate with us.
Is there some way to thank them in the context of what their mission and what they're designed to do
I see.
and how they're supporting what we're trying to do? That's
Yeah, you could thank the Friends for their continued support of the library, specifically summer reading,
yeah.
Palm Springs Speaks, or
Oh, yeah.
Say
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, just to
Yeah,
fill in a little bit, a couple things.
okay,
Yeah,
if we just
those are
take
good
it.
items.
And,
I think if you just add them and then I can,
yeah,
I can elaborate on it.
Right, uh-huh.
Okay.
ongoing support, okay. Sweet. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, that would be nice.
this is good.
It's still the show.
Hmm.
And you'll have, I think, at the next city council, they're going, I don't know, I don't know which boards and commissions they're gonna be finished with. For our vacancy.
Oh, I don't know, and I don't know, because they didn't tell me when, they didn't tell me if I could share anything, so. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So, you all comfortable with this?
I think so. I think so.
You got
Anybody
else?
anything
Let me
else?
see that.
Yes, I can see.
When you guys can represent us beautifully.
Of course, so much. I will do my best. Um,
Oh, there's no vote. You don't need a vote for
Yeah.
this, do you?
oh. No,
For the
I don't think
slideshow.
so.
No,
No.
It's just
it was just a talking.
a working.
So we really have talked about timeline with you. Do you have anything else to add to us, for us as far as the renovation updates and
I'm
timelines?
doing a walkthrough. We are doing a walkthrough with one of our movers tomorrow. So that's
Oh.
exciting. We
That's
have
nice.
2 movers that the city is working with. We did they did formal quotes, I believe, that we have a furniture mover and we have a book mover, and they are both library specialists. So they both are specialized in moving libraries. So one bid came in better for the books than the other. So 2 vendors bid for the quoted for book moving, and one quote, and they both quoted for furniture moving, and they each won one of the 2 bids. So,
Okay.
so we're gonna have a book mover and a furniture mover. Because we took the lowest bid, and we're excited to work with them. And all of the movers that quoted for this project are highly qualified and specialize in library moving. So yeah, we're working on furniture inventory. Yeah, we're doing a lot of behind the scenes things. So tentative timeline, just hang in there. We have a countdown clock on the LED sign outside on the curb, and we have one in the lobby. We're fingers crossed, optimistic that we don't have to add numbers back onto the countdown clock.
Oh,
But
hopefully not.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
wonderful.
Let me ask.
Yes.
Let me ask. Oh, no.
Okay.
No, yeah,
Okay.
we're I don't even know what else I have to tell you, but we're getting ready for summer reading, so
Yes,
that's a
yes.
lot of fun.
And that's super exciting and
And-
amazing that you guys have all this other stuff going on and you're still
Yeah.
producing this
Oh,
quality
I know.
stuff.
My librarians
Amazing.
are going out into the field. They're doing outreach. They did school assemblies at Cielo Vista, and they signed up kids on the spot there for summer reading. And they've been at Boys and Girls Club. We've got a lot of community partnerships going on. When we're doing this library renovation, we're going to be working with community partners to stay in the field, get out there, take our laptops out, sign people up for library cards. We will be working on we are working on all of that, but get our space, and then we'll have more details about that. And maybe we'll do bookmobile schedule without a bookmobile, just we'll be out at community centers on certain days and at the Wellwood, and people can come see us all over town. Scavenger hunt, find the librarians.
Yeah.
Where's Waldo? Oh, and Julia, something.
I forgot to say one thing, if I may. This June is Pride Month, and we are hosting an exhibit at the Wellwood Murray Memorial Library all this month for the LGBTQ history and archives of the desert. They are displaying things that they received in their permanent collection that have never been on display before. So I invite everyone to come look at the display. Wellwood is open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 6, and extended hours on Thursdays till 8. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Julie. Yes, go ahead.
So I just want to be clear. So we have movers for books and furniture. We will soon have officially a temporary location, assuming June 11th goes okay at this council. And we have storage,
Yes.
and we have office space.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the puzzle pieces are all there now?
Yes. And I've got gray hair. Yeah, I think so. I think we're things are really falling into place right now.
That's wonderful. That's fantastic. Yes.
It's been a lot of work, and my team has been working hard, so I'm very proud of them. They've been doing a lot of extra strange things, and we know exactly how many book carts we own, and that's an interesting tidbit.
Is it what you thought? Or were you surprised?
Yes, well, yes and yes. So It is how yes, it's how many I thought we had, but also it's a lot. Why? Why do you have so many book cards? Yeah, and then we can't find one when we need one. Oh, and
Hidden the ones we told them to throw.
we have 5 pallets of baby diapers.
Oh, my God.
So families, if you have babies and need diapers, they are free at the library any day that we're open. So
Great.
come and get them.
Fantastic.
That's a lot of diapers.
That is a lot of diapers.
We don't have size 4. No size 4.
Yeah, there's no sign-ups, there's no restrictions. What'd you say?
I said no size 4.
Do we have any leftovers? Might have.
Not very.
We might not have size 4.
Sorry.
Move that baby up to a size 5.
So any other committee reports?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so, if we don't have any comments, or do we have any future agenda items that anybody, other than our,
No,
other
other
than
than
we've
that.
already said about our,
No.
policy? Okay, great. So it is. Let's see.
6:31.
6:31 on June 4th, 2025, and the Library Board of Trustees meeting is now adjourned.
Good meeting.
Thanks,
All right.
everybody.